Breaking news now on 13 News this morning as police continue their search for two dangerous robbers after they shoot a grocery store clerk. We're live with the latest. Plus, tense moments in one Charleston neighborhood as cops wait out a suspect in a standoff. We have new details this morning.
When, parents come to you and say, hey, my kid has told me, that so-and-so is, bullying them, don't brush it off. Take it serious. Look into it. Stop it.
Her son was bullied. Now this mother has strong words for those who are affected, those with the power to stop it.
For the first time in 5 days, no tear gas or rubber bullets were used in suburban St. Louis. I'm Omar Villafranca in Ferguson, Missouri. We'll tell you what changed coming up.
And fog is blanketing our area. It could affect your commute as we look at downtown Charleston on this Friday morning. Good morning. I'm Brian Hughes.
And I'm Jack Kane. This is 13 News this morning. Glad you could join us on this foggy Friday.
Boy, we start with that fog, but I tell you what, we're going to end up with literally a perfect Friday afternoon. Great for Live on the Levee, Meigs County Fair. We've got Rib Fest, Summerfest, you name it. It is going to shape up nice for this weekend. But as we mentioned, first, we are looking at clear skies on the radar, but the fog is thick in some locations. Here's a look at Storm Tracker 13 HD Dual Live Doppler radar with our fog tracker. Now, there's some spots where you see we're not indicating fog, but as we get real close to the rivers, that's where we're looking at some thick fog at times. You can see half-mile visibility across the area in some locations. Temperatures now nice and cool across the region. We're at 50 at Parkersburg. We could hit some upper 40s here from Ohio University over to Parkersburg. 53 in Jackson, 54 Spencer, and Somerville's checked in at 55. Our forecast is we're planning out your day. 8 a.m. it'll be foggy and 59. By the time we're at noon, 73, mostly sunny and all sunshine. 5 o'clock, we're at 80. Coming up, we'll take a look at those showers and storms in your 7-day forecast. That 10 minutes. Jack?
Right now, breaking news just into the 13 newsroom. One person has been shot on Charleston's west side. It was reported earlier this morning on Cliffview Avenue that shooting took place. Charleston police say the man was shot at a Rite Aid nearby, then made his way in a car to Cliffview. Stay with 13 News and WOWK-TV.com for the latest on this developing story. We have two developing stories this morning. One man has been arrested at an apartment on Charleston's East End. This after Charleston police had been on the scene of a standoff there. It happened in the 1200 block of Washington Street East. That's near CAMC General. Police tell us the man had a stockpile of weapons inside. The man, whose name is not being released at this time, was taken into custody. Not long after that, a grocery clerk is shot during a robbery, and right now police are searching for two men. Marilee McAuliffe is following the story for us. She joins us live now with the latest. Marilee?
All right, that's right, Jack. This area of Kanawha City is typically pretty calm. People go about their business with little disturbances, but it's a different story this morning. People are being told to lock their doors and windows after this Foodland behind me was robbed at gunpoint, and now the clerk, a female clerk, is in critical condition. We do have video from the scene from last night. It happened around 10:30 when the Foodland was robbed. Again, she's in critical condition, and Charleston police responded. Now they're asking for help from the community, and they have released a picture of one of the two suspects. We have a picture from surveillance video that shows him. He's covered head to toe completely. It's hard to determine any features, but we have one picture of him, and you can also check that on our website. The suspects, this is scary now, the suspects are still on the loose. People are being told to stay inside and keep a lookout too if they are in the area. Lock the doors and windows, but keep an eye out of your surroundings because, again, these two suspects are on the loose and a victim is in critical condition. Now, again, we have a picture of the suspect on our website at WOWK-TV.com, so we encourage you to go to the website and share the pictures. Police are asking for help from the community, and we'll be keeping you guys updated with this story throughout the morning. We'll be back again in a half hour to give you any updates and give you details as they come in. Reporting live in Kanawha City, I'm Marilee McAuliffe, working for you.
Marilee, thanks. And that picture we just showed you is on our website and Facebook page right now. You can help police and share the picture. Just go to facebook.com/13news and visit the website at WOWK-TV.com. New details this morning on the number of concealed carry permits that have been issued in the Mountain State. The number of those applying has quadrupled in the past 5 years. Back in 2009, sheriff's departments across the state issued about 11,000 permits. This past year, that number was 4 times that that amount. We spoke with several people with these permits, and they tell us mass shootings, conflicts over gun control, and easier access led them to take action and arm themselves.
With the way the country is right now, I think, and crime statistics and all, I think it's a good idea to have a gun.
The permit is valid for only 5 years, so the total number of West Virginians licensed to carry these weapons is expected to be much higher. A teenager is sentenced to 1 to 5 years for his part in the murder of 18-year-old Tymel McKinney. 17-year-old Naquil Sales pleaded guilty in July to accessory to the fact of the murder. Sales drove the getaway car for the men accused of McKinney's murder, DJ Carter and Mark Gaddy. Sales will turn 18 next week, and the judge will reconsider his sentencing. McKinney was shot April 23rd while sitting on his porch on Charleston's west side. Carter and Gaddy pleaded not guilty to the charges. They'll appear in court next month. Families in Minford, Ohio aren't letting go of the bullying debate that peaked when an 8th grader committed suicide earlier this summer. This was the scene at the Minford Community Center, where a party and vigil were held last night for Jonathan Scaff. His parents say Jonathan was constantly bullied at school. They also say they asked school administrators for help in dealing with the bullying, but got none. Jonathan's mother hopes events like this one help families and school officials take bullying more seriously.
You know, hopefully this is a big wake-up call to the schools in the community to, you know, take it more serious when they're being told. You know, hopefully this is a big wake-up call. Unfortunately, you know, it took Jonathan to do this, but maybe he'll make a difference.
The Scioto County Sheriff still has an active investigation into Jonathan's death. There were protests for a 5th straight night in a St. Louis suburb where the community is upset over the police shooting of an unarmed black teenager. But Thursday's protests were quite different from earlier demonstrations. Omar Villafranca reports from Ferguson, Missouri.
Calm prevailed in Ferguson, Missouri Thursday night as demonstrators once again took to the streets to protest the death of 18-year-old Michael Brown, who was shot by police on Saturday. The mood ranged from subdued to festive as people honked their car horns and some chanted. It's a big change after 4 nights filled with violence and tear gas.
Say what you got to say and just do it in peace.
Earlier in the day, Captain Ron Johnson of the Missouri Highway Patrol led hundreds in a peaceful march. His department now oversees the protesters after Governor Jay Nixon stripped local police of their duty. The governor is hoping Johnson, a Ferguson native, will help diffuse tensions here. So far, it seems to be working. The streets are quiet this morning.
We're a community, and we're all a part of that community, and we're all in it together.
Residents seem to embrace his presence.
Love y'all, and let's have a peaceful march.
Ferguson's peaceful protest was just one of more than 90 across the country Thursday. People from New York's Times Square to Chicago to San Francisco participated in vigils and marches in what was promoted on social media as a national moment of silence to protest Michael Brown's death. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Ferguson, Missouri.
President Obama made his first public comments on the Ferguson protests on Thursday, saying there's no excuse for violence against protesters or against police. Ferguson is a town of 21,000 people that is nearly 70% black. It is patrolled by a nearly all-white police force. Still to come on 13 News this morning, meteorologist Brian Hughes is back with your fantastic-looking Storm Tracker 13 weekend forecast. Plus, police still need your help finding a person of interest in a Mason County shooting. What you need to know coming up on 13 News this morning.
Now, Storm Tracker 13 with the area's most powerful HD live Doppler radar.
5:11 at the time. Good morning. I'm Brian Hughes. We're looking at skies clear across the area in regards to Storm Tracker 13 HD dual live Doppler radar. But we do have fog that is thick in some locations, so that's an issue that we're dealing with now. Temperatures 59 in Huntington. Same thing in Charleston. We've got 55 Point Pleasant. Logan, you're at 62. Pikeville, Kentucky, 63. And Summersville, 55. Look at the temperature change. We're warmer from Pikeville to Louisa to Hamlin. Anywhere from 8 to 4 degrees warmer. Charleston and Huntington roughly the same as yesterday, but look at this, cooler. Then further north you go, Jackson, Athens, Parkersburg, Clarksburg. Anywhere from 4 to 9 degrees cooler than we were at this time yesterday. And the humidity, it is up there, like top notch up there because of the fog, 100%. from Charleston all the way down Corridor G to Logan and down the turnpike. So it is a muggy time, but the further north and west you go, a little bit drier air. A couple of clouds are working their way into our forecast for this morning briefly, but the sunshine will burn everything off as we head into this afternoon, so that's really good news. The next storm system we're watching well out to our west in the Great Plains. You can see showers and storms anywhere from Kansas all the way back up to the Dakotas and moving into Iowa and Minnesota. That is headed this way. So here's a look at predictor this morning. We're looking good. All the clouds burn off. We've got sunshine for the afternoon. We continue into Saturday, and nothing to worry about for Saturday. Lots of sunshine across the area, but it's as we get into Sunday, we watch showers and storms developing to our west. They're working their way closer to us. So with that being said, here's a look at our forecast. We're planning out your day. We'll have 8 a.m., noon, and from 8 a.m. foggy, 59 to 73. We'll be at 5 o'clock, 80 degrees. That's fun stuff here. Hold on just a second. I'm going to do something very fancy here real quick. Let's see if this works right. Oh, there we go. Friday, 80. It was at 8 a.m., 59, foggy, 73 at noon, 5 o'clock. We're at 80. You got to have some fun with these new graphics every once in a while. Figure stuff out. We'll look at 83 for your Saturday. It's Friday and Saturday, a perfect weekend. Going into Sunday, we'll be at 86. And then heading into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we've got thunderstorms across the area. Sunday looks like a late evening shower.
All right, looks great for the weekend still.
Yes, exactly. It leaves the first half of the weekend perfect, and then Sunday, hey, you can get your outdoor plans done for most of the day and the evening. Have a little shower pass by.
Gold star for you this week.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, Paul McCartney brings down the house at San Francisco's Candlestick Park, and a Tennessee museum honors musician Kenny Rogers. Danielle Nottingham has your eye on entertainment.
Sir Paul McCartney helped bid a smashing farewell to San Francisco's Candlestick Park. McCartney's was the last performance at the historic stadium before it's demolished. The Beatles performed their last concert there in 1966. Opening today in select cities, the indie comedy Frank.
How to describe Frank?
Michael Fassbender stars as the lead singer of an alternative rock band. He wears a giant papier-mâché head for most of the film.
Because I was wearing a mask on this one, it was just more important than it had been in the past for me to sort of try and get an inner life and sort of convey that through the physicality.
Maggie Gyllenhaal and Domhnall Gleeson co-star. Frank opens nationwide next week. Nashville's Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum is featuring a special exhibit, Kenny Rogers Through the Years. It includes awards and mementos from his long career. Rogers says he always wanted his songs to tell stories.
My theory is if a song touches me, I can make it touch somebody else.
The exhibit runs until June of next year. That's your eye on entertainment. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
5:15 now on 13 News this morning. We continue to follow the very latest out of Kanawha City this morning after a robbery and shooting at Foodland. We're working to get new details for you right now. This is 13 News this morning. 5:18 now on 13 News this morning as we take a live look out over a foggy I-64. This is at the Hal Greer Boulevard exit in Huntington. Traffic moving along smoothly this morning, but there is heavy fog in many areas, so take it easy as you head out and about. 2 firefighters have suffered heat-related injuries as crews continue to battle a 65-acre blaze at the Angeles National Forest above L.A. The Shoemaker fire is only 5% contained right now. Officials say no structures are immediately threatened. Fire officials say 10 engines and 1 hand crew were on scene, along with 5 helicopters and 4 air tankers. The city of New London, Connecticut is no longer in a state of emergency after a major water leak on Thursday. New London Mayor Daryl Justin Finizio said locating the break was challenging because water was spilling into an overgrown swampy area. City crews isolated the leak quickly, though, after the 50-year-old 20-inch main broke. An estimated 10 million gallons of water leaked because of that break. And a Utah woman is in critical condition this morning after receiving chemical burns to her mouth and throat from a drink. Turns out her sweet tea was laced with lye. It's a highly toxic industrial cleaning solution meant for degreasing deep fryers. Police say Jan Harding poured herself some tea and after taking a sip said her mouth began to burn. Investigators say a worker mistook the cleaning product for sugar.
Now, Storm Tracker 13 with the area's most powerful HD live Doppler radar.
It is 5:19. Good morning. I'm Brian Hughes. We're looking at clear skies in regards to the radar. Different story when you think about the fog that's out there, essentially a cloud on the ground. Hits it down Corridor G, anywhere from Paintsville all the way back up to Charleston. 1 mile, quarter mile, half mile visibility. We've seen some fog around Ohio University, back up to portions of Parkersburg, Marietta, just all along the rivers. This morning you'll see some patchy fog, and sometimes it will be thick. Here's a look at the temperatures now. 59 Huntington, Charleston. Pikeville is at 63. Jackson, 49 degrees. Clouds and radar. This is the big storm system that we're watching off to our west. That's the next event that is going to head our way. But 1 o'clock this afternoon, look at that. Skies are clear. We're looking at mostly sunny skies. There might be a cloud or two down into portions of the coal field, southeastern Kentucky, but otherwise, look at that. It's sun all day long. Our forecast for today will shape up with 80 degrees. We'll have tons of sun and fabulous winds out of the west at about 2 to 5. Heading into tonight, we're looking at clear skies, and it will be cool across the area. And heading into your day tomorrow, 83, mostly sunny and sensational. Winds out of the west at 5 to 10. Jack?
Thanks, Brian. 5:20 now on 13 News this morning. The Mountaineers are winding down camp today and tomorrow. We'll have the latest from Morgantown coming up on 13 News this morning.
Construction continuing here in Morgantown. I'm sure you can hear it behind me. The WVU football team is not fazed by it. They continue to put in work for 2014 season. In fact, camp will wind up on Saturday, and then next week they'll start game preparation. 2 weeks to get set for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Head coach Dana Holgorsen met with the media on Thursday. Had some bad news to share. Unfortunately, WVU could be without senior linebacker Jared Barber. He tore his ACL toward the end of last season, missed the final 2 games. Now it looks like he may not be set for the 2014 season and would have to redshirt and come back for 2015.
Yeah, Barber's not going to be ready. It's unfortunate. He's such a good team leader. He will still have that role as a leader. He gets down there and coaches the heck out of the linebackers. I mean, he's a great kid to have around.
Barber was 3rd on the team in tackles a year ago, started 7 games, played in 10 before that injury cut his season short. Now, some good news for a WVU redshirt senior, 6'9" offensive lineman Michael Colicchio. He's been a walk-on for WVU's program, and now in his 5th and final season, head coach Dana Holgorsen said that Colicchio has earned himself a scholarship.
5 years ago when he showed up, just couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. Because of his hard work on the field, off the field, is a great student, is one of our leaders on the entire team right now. When he talks, people listen.
And WVU's men's basketball team schedule is out. We've got the entire thing on our website, WVIllustrated.com, but a few key dates to make note of. They'll open up Big 12 play at TCU on January 3rd. Then a week later, January 10th, the Mountaineers will host their first Big 12 game of the season against Iowa State. Also, keep an eye out for the big Monday game against Kansas. The Mountaineers hosting them right here in Morgantown on February 16th. That's the latest on the Mountaineers in Morgantown. I'm Jeff Coyle.
It is part of the experience for a lot of baseball fans, a hot dog, peanuts, and a cold beer. According to one study, we're within a day's drive of Major League Baseball's best beer selections. Ann Eli with the State Journal is here to tell us more.
While I can't take the credit for these rankings, it all came from a team at the Washington Post who set out to list the best ballparks in the country for fans of local and craft beers. Lucky for us here in West Virginia, we're close to 4 out of the top 5. The Seattle Mariners took the top spot in the ranking, but the rest of that top 5 is made up of the Cincinnati Reds, Cleveland Indians, my favorite, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Baltimore Orioles. Now, the list determined the worst beer selection to be from the New York Yankees. And by the methodology, that just means they had the least selection. So if you're a Bud Light drinker, you'll be just fine at Yankee Stadium. The study gathered the beer menus from each of the MLB's 30 stadiums, then used the rankings from the site Beer Advocate to compare those offerings. And the rankings even gave weight to beers produced within the team's home state, as well as how unique that beer is among other MLB teams. But you don't have to spend all day in the car to enjoy a craft beer with your baseball. The West Virginia Power staff has been serving local brews for several years. Reporting for the State Journal, I'm Ann Eli.
Interesting.
Yes, you know, there's a brewery in Wheeling, and they have it's called the stuff that killed Elvis. and literally in that beer they have bacon, they have peanut butter, and they have bananas.
In the beer?
Well, not physically in it. It's brewed with
those ingredients.
Yes, with those ingredients.
Yeah, okay. Could be interesting.
It is very. We've got some fog out there. You can see this is thick over downtown Charleston this morning as we're looking at it thick in many locations, especially close to any rivers, lakes, or streams. Our 7-day forecast shapes up today 80, tomorrow 83. Some evening showers on Sunday, and then we have thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, and even a shower Wednesday and some storms on Thursday of next week. So enjoy this weekend because next week, much wetter.
All right, thanks, Brian. We're continuing to follow breaking news this morning as a woman is clinging to life right now after she was shot during a robbery. Our Marilee McAuliffe is live at the scene there in Kanawha City, and she'll have the very latest coming up on 13 News this morning.